afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So today I'm super excited to tell you all about today's craft, where we'll be making cute miniature craft stick houses. Fancy artwork over here, not the greatest artist, but this is my little birdhouse in a tree. These are our lovely sponsors, and this is what you've been waiting for, is the wonderful craft stick birdhouse that we will be making today. All including a cute little flower box right here for mini flowers for your bird. And it basically turns out like a cute log cabin. You can see through it, allows the air in and out so it's not hot in the springtime when you set this out for your future birdhouse. So we are doing a little experimentation today. One, I'm gonna definitely show you guys how to make this, but I do wanna tell you that I made this one using a hot glue gun, and you can see the glue strips down the center here, all down the rim. Basically the intention is based on this roof design. The water is gonna flow down and hopefully not in, so hopefully that works. That's one experiment we're trying out here. The other one is, this one is made with glue gun. The one we're gonna make today, we're gonna use Elaine's tacky glue. And the reason for this is hot glue is not really that great to use outside, and if you're making a house in which you're going to put this little miniature thing outside as opposed to inside, it might be worth trying it with regular glue as opposed to hot glue. Although I've not experimented with spray painting hot glue and then seeing how it works, this is all part of this lovely experiment that we're going to roll with. So without further ado, let's show you guys how to build the roof. Alright, so first things first, you're going to want to take 2 craft sticks. These are the larger craft sticks. They're almost 6 inches long and they're about 1/2 inch wide. You can use the regular craft sticks too, but I find that these ones, when you cut them, don't split or splinter as much as the smaller typical popsicle stick craft sticks that you would usually have. Definitely personal preference, but again, I find that these cut better than the smaller ones, so it's up to you. So first things first, you're just going to lay 2 down together like so, and then you're going to lay 2 down right on top of that. So I'm just going to glue the center, or where I think the center is, and that's going to start. What's going to happen is you're basically building your birdhouse from the top to the bottom, so you're doing it in complete reverse, and this is just the way it works. So I don't really know how else to tell you how to do it besides upside down. So here we go. I am going to put a couple glue dots right here, and a couple glue dots right here, and right here, and right here. And this is approximately the center of my little house I got going on here. And then I'm just going to crisscross this, and then crisscross this, and then make it as straight as possible. If you want, you can totally measure this and make sure it's exactly aligned to your perfection, but I'm kind of winging it here. So I do a little bit more measuring when it comes to the door and the windows and the flower box, but not so much with this part. So once you have this perfect little X marks the spot thing, now you're just going to keep layering it, but pushing it out just a little bit every time you layer it. So for instance, the next one I'm going to put just a little bit off the center, so it's not in line with my lower one, and the same thing, just a little bit off the center, so it's not aligned in my center one. So basically what's going to end up happening is you're going to get this effect here. So again, I'm just going to put a little glue where I want my sticks to be. The more glue that you can put down, the better, because you do want to make sure that this sticks, and it sticks really well. So I'm basically just putting this off to the side and sticking it right there, off to the side, and sticking it right there. I am making sure that as I do this, I'm trying to keep the outside edges as even as possible. So you'll see that if you take your sticks, these ends are all symmetrical. So the benefit of doing this with a glue gun, as opposed to the tacky glue, is the glue gun dries really, really fast. So as soon as you put your sticks down, that's it. It's stuck. It's not going anywhere. But my fear with the glue gun is, because of the temperatures and the different range of temperatures that we get around here, especially with winter and hot summer, either the glue is going to freeze and crack, or the glue is going to melt and my whole house is just going to go whoa. So we don't want that to happen. So hopefully that won't happen. Alright, so for the next one, I'm going to put a little glue on the outside on this one. So I'm just alternating direction here. And this is basically the roof. What I'm doing right now is all roof. So again, I'm just going to put this off, just offset it to the one below it. The closer you put them together, or the closer your offset is, the less water you're going to have and the less space you're going to have as you go down here. So that's up to you what you want, but, and then I'm just going to keep doing this process where I'm alternating vertical and horizontal until I get all the way to the outside of my sticks here. So next one's going to be horizontal over here and horizontal over here. And then my hope is that if I do it like this with the tacky glue, that I can paint it and then it'll all stay kind of together. So I'm not sure. It's definitely an experiment going on here because I've never done it before. And Google could not tell me the answer. So this is my trial run. We'll give it a whirl, see how it holds up outside to the great outdoors, and hopefully it holds up. And next spring, our birdies have a birdhouse. You can certainly put it out now. I don't think any birds will be laying eggs now, but this is just a really fun thing to do and I couldn't resist. If you're not interested in making a birdhouse, this makes for a really cool little cute playhouse. Even if you make it a little bit bigger, it could be a really cool dollhouse for your kids. So again, I'm just keep alternating horizontal and then vertical, so on and so forth, until I get to the outside, and I'm just offsetting them every single time I stack them. So I'm gonna do one right here and right here, right here, right here, and again just offsetting it a little bit. So I'm not putting it in the exact same position the one below it is. I'm just putting it a little bit off. Sometimes you might want to put it, let's see here, I have like maybe 1/4 of an inch of offset every single time I put it down. And that seems to be working pretty well. Same thing on this, it's just 1/4 of a inch offset. And then you're just going to keep on offsetting it until you get to the very end. So this might be a project that we take 2 weeks to do just because it takes quite a little while to do. But I certainly want to show you guys the roof today. And then if we don't finish it today, we can definitely finish it for the following weeks to come. Just because it came out so cool, right? Okay. So again, just keep offsetting it and alternating your horizontal with your vertical. And we're getting very close to the outside, so it really doesn't take long. The kicker here with this is, because I'm not using a hot glue gun, it is going to take a little bit longer to dry, but totally going to be worth it. Okay. So you can actually make a really, really large one too. They have craft sticks that are huge, but this is just it's about 6 inches long, and I think I want to say it's probably like a half inch or a little less or more wide. And for this project, it's pretty good. I mean, a birdhouse doesn't really need to be too much bigger than this. But that's up to you. Oops, sorry guys, I totally did that backwards. So, just remember to alternate. You see, kind of messed up there, but that's okay. A little glue on the inside is not going to make a difference. And then, do it this way. So my hope is that the Aleene's glue will kind of hold up to the test of our weather we have around here. And maybe this is something that we can put out now. Maybe the birds that stick around all year round would appreciate not having snow in their home. And they'll reside here all winter long, and then come spring they'll lay their eggs, so on and so forth. So, who knows, it's worth the try. Like I said, just continue to offset it, and you can see already it's starting to kind of like, it almost looks like steps, like you're walking into it. And then the opposite direction, like you're walking up here. And this is just the roof, and what it gives you is it gives you this really cool dormered effect. So this is kind of what they call a dormer. Just looks really cool. As opposed to just building a square house with a peaked roof, right? Might as well add some creativity, add a little bit of architectural flair, if you will, or as my dad would say, who is a carpenter, character. So we're giving our birdhouse character here. Again, as you guys can see, you can start to see it starting to layer. On my end, you can see it go down. On your end, you can see it go up. And the beauty of using Aleene's glue is I can see that this one's kind of crooked. I can go in and just slightly, ever so carefully, adjust it. Because Aleene's glue takes a little bit longer to dry. And you just want to see if you can keep it as straight as possible. And you can kind of turn it. You guys can see that. And you can adjust it again. I'm trying to keep these sticks to kind of be as straight as possible. And as you work your way to the top, the lower half is drying. So you're just going to keep on moving these again. The benefit to one is that the Aleene's glue dries really slowly, or slower than the hot glue gun, which can benefit you or drive you crazy. So I'll give. Alright, so I just did this way, now I need to do this way. So put a little glue here, right where my offset's gonna be. Oopsie. And we'll do a little bit of glue here, right where my offset's gonna be. Okay, hold on. In an air pocket. There we go. Alright, and then we'll do a little glue here. A little glue here. The other thing that you can use, which actually may or may not work better, is a wood glue. May be super beneficial. It might allow you a little bit more versatility with where you can put it, because wood glue is pretty strong. The kicker with wood glue, like Aleene's glue, is it does take a little while to dry. But that's okay, because at the end it'll be more useful in theory. But like I said, my hope is that if I paint this, the paint will help kind of keep that glue protected. But you never know until you try it. So we're going to give it a whirl and see if it works. And if it doesn't, that's why we made two. And I will definitely let you guys know as the time goes on which one worked out better, whether it be the hot glue gun or the one with the Aleene's glue. Okay, and we'll just do it this way and this way. And I'm getting closer and closer to the edge. So as soon as I get to the outskirts, that's when I'm gonna start my house. So you can see it's kind of flush here. You guys really can't see my roof line. And that's because as soon as I got to the outside, right here, I started building my log cabin kind of version. So I'll explain, I promise. Alrighty, so this one, because we went this way, now we need to go this way. Really working on our skills here, and I'm struggling with my glue over here for a second. Hold on. There we go. Alright. So we'll put this down. There we go. And there we go. And so this is it. Really, you're going to keep doing this pretty much the whole way. Except when you get to the window part, you're going to start cutting these sticks in half. And by half, I mean you're cutting off here and you're cutting off here to make a little inlet or outlet, however you want to talk about it, for your window. And of course your door, because how else is your little bird friend going to be able to get in and out, right? You need the little door. Or a really giant window. But for me, I was all about making a door for the bird and making an observation window for me. So I can see their cute little babies and their eggs without entirely disturbing them. I have a tree right outside my back door that the birds constantly make a nest in, which is super cute. It's a little too high up for me to see the babies in it. So I'm hoping that if I put this a little lower, I can see inside of it and they'll still be protected from whatever would scare them or would potentially, whatever predators may hurt or otherwise. So again, almost there. Go. So the closer you space out your sticks, like if you keep them pretty close together, you're really going to help prevent that water from getting in there. In theory, water is just going to rivulet down here, but it's all a theory because I haven't tested it out. But either way, like I said, it looks really, really cool. So I'm excited about that at least. Alright, so let's see here. Do this one this way. This one this way. This way. Alrighty. Pretty cool. So also, if you wanted to, I suppose you could stop here and then your birdhouse would just be this big. But if you go all the way to the outside, your birdhouse can be as large as it is wide, as wide as these are. So in theory, you want it to be this wide. So we're gonna keep going. I'm not putting a ton of glue. I think what I'd like to do, if possible, is maybe even spray it with like a spray adhesive. I'm not really sure if that's going to help, but I'm hoping that either a spray adhesive or a spray paint of some sort will help kind of keep it all together. If not, like I said, it still looks really cool. If it doesn't show up and work outside, then the least that I can do is keep it inside for decoration because it looks really cool. So we're gonna shake this out a little. There we go. That's better. I do like to use a little bit more glue just to make sure it really, really sticks. But I know that as I press down on this, it's gonna spread out too, so that's good. Go. And there we go. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And I'm just gonna keep alternating, and even when I get to start to do the walls, I'm just gonna keep alternating. Basically building a log cabin out of craft sticks over here with a fancy dormered roof. Right, and just kind of not putting it exactly where the last stick was, just offsetting it just ever so slightly. And that's going to help keep the rain out when you flip it upside or right side up, as well as give the bird some shelter and some shade from the sun. But because there's so much space in between all of these slats, it's still going to allow plenty of airflow, which is probably really important to a bird. There we go. And again, I'm just alternating back and forth until I get to the very outskirts of my pop sticks here, or craft sticks, and I'm pretty close to the end here. So I'm going to start working right away on my windows and my doors, because I don't want them to be super low. So we'll leave that a minute. So my roof line ends right about here. I don't know if you guys can see that. My roof line stops right about here, and my windows are kind of low, so I would have liked them to be a little higher. The door is perfect. It's just nice and wide. It starts pretty low, and then same thing with this window. It starts pretty low. So I mean, depending on where you want your doors and your windows would depend on how much further down from your roof line you want to start cutting them. Keep in mind you are doing this upside down. So right now this is my roof, this is the top here. So something to keep in mind as you work, and it's also mind-boggling because you're doing it upside down. So, I don't know. Things to think about. I tell you what, my forearms, getting a workout today. This glue is not very forgiving or easy to come out anyway. That there. Put this here. Okay, I'm gonna do one more layer this way and maybe one more layer this way, and then I'm at the very edge of my sticks over here. So that's gonna be my roof. Do a couple of layers of the regular house, and then we'll probably pause for today and pick up where we left off, not next week, but the week after. So next week we are celebrating Hanover Theater's Julius Caesar, and we're going to be making laurels, so you guys can dress up to go to the Julius Caesar Theater, watch the show at the Hanover Theater, excuse me, and dress up in all your theater Julius Caesar style. So you can have laurels and still wear your regular attire. Or of course you can totally dress up in your fancy toga and your laurel, and it'll be really cool. So I think this is the end here. This is the very last one I'm gonna put on. This way. This way. I lied. I'm going to do one more this way, and then that's it. And then that's my roof line over here. So I just kind of want it to overhang a little, but not too much. And then that'll allow me to build my house walls in a little bit. So my last one for the outside right here. Oopsie. And right here. So I just want to take a second and let you guys look at this. I'm not sure if I could pick it up without totally breaking it. Okay, yeah, I think the bottom's pretty dry. So this is your roof right here. As you can see the inside looks pretty cool. Vaulted ceiling, if you will. And then if I carefully flip this over, that's your dormer right there. Pretty awesome. not entirely dry yet. That was my fear of lifting that up. Okay, put this back. So we're gonna let this dry. And we're gonna start, as this dries, we're gonna start working on our walls. So I'm gonna put a couple of layers on my walls here so you can see. Just wanna tilt this down a little bit. See that it starts down at an angle here and then it gets flush. So your roof line is at an angle and your walls are gonna be relatively flush. So you're gonna continue in that pattern of doing horizontal and vertical the whole time, back and forth, and that's gonna give it that cool log cabin effect. You wanna do maybe 1 or 2 rows and then start in with adding your windows and your doors and stuff. So I'm gonna do 1 or 2 rows and then we'll probably call it a day and we'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll finish this awesome craft, okay? Cool, all right, so again, I'm just going to put a little glue here, put a little glue here. I can spread this out a little bit too, because now I'm not working in the confines of having to not make it on top of each other. They're gonna be exactly flush with that last one that I did. So now my walls, I'm gonna keep flush with the last one I did below here. Same thing, I want to keep it flush with the last one I did below here. And you can do that by just kind of using your fingers. And you're going to do the same thing with this one on the side. So you'll put a little glue here. Good. And a little bit of glue here. And again, you're just going to make it flush with the one on the bottom. So you can just use your fingers, nice and flush. So there's no more offsetting. That's kind of the word I was looking for. You want to make sure that now everything is in alignment with each other, and that's going to be the base for your walls. So just like this. And you're just going to keep alternating. So now I have the very first row of my walls, and I'm just going to keep going up like that until I want to put a window or a door. So I'm going to do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll call it for today, and we'll pick up in 2 weeks from today if that works for all of you. If not, as always, you can always revisit our videos on our Facebook channel or our YouTube channel. All of the craft videos, cooking classes, author talks, all that fun stuff is on our Facebook channel under the videos, or on our YouTube channel under the videos. So again, this one's going to be flush with the one on below it, and this one's going to be flush with the one below it as well. And you can just use your fingers to make sure it's flush. If you want to make sure it's really flush, I'm trying to just do this. And do this. And that's it. And you'll do a couple more. So we'll do 1 more here, and then that's it. 1 there. 1 there. 1 there, and 1 here. There we go. Alrighty. Put this here. And right here. Okay. So you guys can kind of see starting out pretty cool. I really like the fact that Elaine's glue offers you some flexibility where it allows you to kind of move things around. So as I get close to you guys, you can see that this is the first 3 rows of my walls. Same thing, first 3 rows of my walls, and then my roof line. So I don't really want to flip it over because you guys saw earlier. Actually, I can do this, hold on. Do it this way. There we go. All right, so we're still in the drying phase here. But this is basically my roof line I have going on here. It's got that dormered look to it, and then I start my ceiling. So this one, I feel, looks a little bit crooked, but that's okay. So this is the roof so far, and in 2 weeks from today, we will come back and we will add our front door, our window with its cute little flower box that you guys can see there, and our other window here, as well as the little perch. And hold on, put this down carefully, and we'll add our perch and our little awning, if you will. All right, so I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed today's craft. I know we're not totally done with it, but we will pick up where we left off next week, in 2 weeks, because next week we are going to do laurels, and that'll give me time to tell you whether or not this is going to work out, okay? So until next week with the laurels, and the following week we'll pick up with this birdhouse craft. Alrighty, enjoy your day. I'll see you all next week.